The college basketball experience Final Four preview and picks episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports, people. Kalshi is available in a ton of different states, and you get $10 free with our promo code. That is SGPN. That's Kalshi, Kalshi, promo code SGPN. Remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Coach June Jones, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college basketball experience Final Four preview and picks episode. YouTube.com/the college experience. Get on over there, hit that like and subscribe button, because we're not. I know you see limited games left. You're thinking, I don't know. No. We're always talking college hoops, even in the off season. And don't forget college baseball. It's about to be their time, right? Frozen Four, also college hockey. It's their time. That's currently been their time. We dropped an episode on that. We're going to do another one next week. Then it's college football season. And then that leads us into college basketball, and so on and so on and so on.
You skipped Columbia Dundee.
What's that?
Are you doing Columbia Dundee this year?
Oh, not this year. This year.
That's some of the best TC content there is.
Look, as much as I like to do that, next year I'm back, but I'm taking a year off. Taking a year off of Columbia. Anyway, if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
Oh, watching the Crown right now. Oklahoma's on a 9-2 run. Just took the first lead in a while to be up 61-58. Got another game, another Crown game coming. Go listen to our Crown picks. We got that out there. Also, don't forget NIT tomorrow. Mollyline Mac will be in the house at Hinkle Fieldhouse. So make sure you check out the NIT picks we put out. Love the NIT. And then we have the real Final Four coming to you right now. I am joined by my co-host. He is also the host of the College Football Experience. Give it up for former staffer at Austin Peay with the Governors, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, and West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, aka Moneyline Mac. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? Yes, hitting the road early to go to Indy. Can't wait to get to Hinkle tomorrow. What are we down to, 11 games now in total since this one's already in progress?
It's matching like here. What I say, I'm at the morning, gon' call money.
We're also joined by a third man in the booth. He is the host of the College Baseball Experience. I got an episode later tonight they will be doing. So make sure you check out that. I'll be back next week on that one. I've just been recording all fucking day. My wife says enough of this high heat bullshit you keep saying, but give it up for the great Noah Bieniek. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, and it would not be a March Madness episode if I didn't try to correct somebody in the intro. Mac, I believe there's 12 games left. Mental math, 8-team Crown tournament, 7 games, Final Four in NIT, so 3 games, Final Four, like in the NCAA tournament. So
wait, I think after today it's 11 though, right? Or after
Yes.
this game? Yeah.
Was it
But
thir-
no. After this game, it's 12.
13 going into tonight then?
13 going into the night. This game just tipped, so there's 12 remaining. After today, there would be 11.
I stand corrected. There you go. You
Yeah.
can have that.
Yeah.
Nick.
Very on brand, had to be done. But very excited to talk about
This
some
song
stuff.
brand,
And
too. Fuck
Colby,
you.
Colby, I don't know if it really needed to be talked about, but it is not on the slideshow today. And Doug just wanted to remind us that Bill Self is back. And
Billy
I
Ball.
Lawrence,
I
Kansas.
wasn't sure if that was official or not because it's fucking April Fool's Day.
no,
So,
it's official.
okay.
Their team account tweeted it.
I missed
So.
that, but I will hit you with coaching news because the Campbell Camels and John Anderjack. Well, it was a good 1 year. I caught him live. I think they went 16-18 if memory serves me correct, or 16-18. He won a natty at Florida last year, but guess what? Just one and done with the Campbell Camels as he resigned to take the Louisville assistant job. And it was interesting hearing his letter or his tweet. I'll read it for you. I think I say this with a heavy heart, but I will be stepping down as your head coach at Campbell. It was an extraordinary privilege to live here and represent the program. I love this place. Sure you do. With a 1 year, I've worked tirelessly to reconnect with Camel alumni across generations. I've thrown my everything at this program. And it basically says over the last 6 months has become clear that Campbell has made the decision to shift their commitment from basketball. Simply put, their institution now has different priorities, and they are not compatible with putting the kind of team on the floor that you deserve. As difficult as this is, I respect the decision and understand it as one the university feels it must make. And in what are unprecedented times in higher education, despite months of intense work and collaboration with AD Hannah Bazemore, our terrific athletics administration, and several creative options, where basically he's just saying, I'm fucking out. Fuck this. I'm out. And he's at Louisville. So shocking to say. I mean, I caught him live this year early on in the season, and me and Nick kind of thought there'd be a player in the CAA. They kind of disappointed, I thought, after that. Now I know they had a very small rotation. Maybe that played a role, but Mac, are you? I was look. I understand the current times. We've seen Mo Williams, we've seen Matt Locke, we've seen a few other guys bounce. It happens in college football a lot too. You've seen coaches leave to become coordinators or assistants at the higher level. I'm a little surprised because why take the job a year ago though? Your thoughts though, McIntosh, on the news out of Bowie's Creek, North Carolina.
I thought it was April Fool's. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna acknowledge this yet. And then a couple hours later, I'm like, wow, this thing is still up. So this is not a April Fool's. I mean, I get it where you're jumping. I could have done without the letter. I thought the letter was a little. I didn't think it was the best look for him. And then right there to Louisville. So already a done deal. I mean, I like the job he did in year one at Campbell, and then obviously was with Golden for the Natty last year. So I'm sure he'll do a good job for Kelsey. Honestly, the statement was kind of Pat Kelsey like.
That is a good point. That is a good point. Maybe he's like, what should I do? Here, I'll write this letter for you. Bieniek, your thoughts on the Campbell Camels as I watched them in 14 innings lose to North Carolina in baseball last night. But that
was a
your
heartbreaker.
thoughts? Yeah.
I'm very familiar with John Andrzejczyk, former assistant for Florida during the national championship run. And yeah, maybe this is just climbing up the ladder a little bit. I think he was third assistant or second assistant with the Gators during that run. Takes the Campbell job. Now he's offered I believe it's associate head coach at Louisville. I could be wrong there, but I do think that would be a technical promotion from where he was on staff at Florida just a year ago. And it's Louisville. I'm sure that they're probably offering more for the assistant role than Campbell was for the head coaching role. And then also, I know for sure Andrzejczyk spent a good bit on the roster. There was a handful of guys that had played big time minutes at the previous destination, and some even had power conference experience. In DJ Smith's case, he was in the NCAA tournament last year with Robert Morris as one of their best players. And he was a big money ticket, and they did well. I mean, honestly, they had a really good non-conference, kind of got flat in conference play, and just finished around 500. Campbell, to me, does not come off as a wealthy and flush with money institution. They probably saw, hey, we spent a good bit on this roster. It came back 500. We're going to give you the same, if not maybe pull back a little bit of the resources that we gave you in year one. If that was the case, I can see Andrzejczyk wanting to be like, well, I want my narrative out there. I want to be able to spin this PR my way and say like, hey, they didn't give me the funds that they necessarily promised, or he thought that he was going to get, and now he's Louisville bound.
Yeah, I wonder. I'm assuming by his letter that it means they're going into football.
You would think.
I mean, that's the only assumptions, because like baseball has been good, but I don't think there's a lot of money in baseball. So I'm assuming
it's football or baseball. Like performance wise, I don't know how good they are football, but baseball, they ran the Big South. They took the step up from the Big South to the CAA. Their first year, they were 500. This year, they're leading the league and playing really well with a new coach. So
I still don't. I mean, I don't think CAA teams make money in baseball.
No, I don't think they make money in basketball really either. I don't think it's a slam dunk that they're raking it in.
Fair. But I'm saying maybe they just had it diversified over 3 sports, and they're just like, what are we doing? Football drives the bus, or drives the bus. Maybe that's what I'm assuming, or maybe I have no idea. But that's the only thing I could read into is like which one could actually get them major money. Maybe they saw North Dakota State and Sac State go to the FBS, and they're saying we need to make our push. Let's throw all of our money into football. But I don't know. I mean, it still seems shocking. What if it's just a cop out and he just got a big ass offer from Louisville?
Yeah, that could have happened. I mean,
yeah,
Louisville's definitely going to pay. So it was, the whole thing was a little sketchy. But hey, we're seeing more and more guys do this. It's hard for me to listen to a guy bitch about the investment when he only was there 1 year.
Yeah.
I mean, the last 2 years, I just went and looked up, because I'm not very familiar with Campbell football. They are 5-19 on the gridiron in their last 2 seasons.
That's with the jump to the CAA though.
True.
So
yeah, they're 3-13 in league.
Yeah. But they've never been a great football program historically. Minter had that team pretty talented, but they scheduled way too aggressively. Their previous head coach, who's now at Western Michigan, but yeah, I mean,
for those curious, their old baseball coach who had them like in conversations to host regionals every single year, he's the head coach at Ohio State now. And then last year they jumped to the CAA. They were 15-12 in league. This year they're 11-1 and currently in first place. So.
I mean, they shouldn't have lost last night. But I just still wonder, from most shit I read, now maybe it's changing. College baseball is growing, but I'm like, I think only like select schools actually make profit in college baseball. So and I would not imagine Campbell is one of them. I think like if you're LSU or Mississippi State, or there's like a select few, I think that do. So interesting there. We'll have to monitor that. Anything else you guys want? Who any ideas? Kevin Keats, give him a call. Did he just become an assistant somewhere?
If they don't pay enough for Andrzejczyk, they're not going to pay enough for Keats.
Yeah, Keats got something. Keats got something because we were watching him live and he was smiling on TV as he was signing the deal. I forget where he went. Where did Keats go?
Wow. Did he go to Kentucky?
No, it was. Maybe he didn't go anywhere. I thought I could have swore maybe it was when Will Wade was leaving and Kevin Keats was just smiling like crazy on TV. He's laughing his ass off. I think that's what it was. I thought Keats went somewhere.
What about the boy that just got fired from Charlotte? I didn't think he did a terrible job.
Yeah, Fern's not bad.
Yeah. I think that would be an interesting one. Since he is familiar with the state of North Carolina, didn't do a terrible job with Charlotte, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
That's what I'm pulling out right now. That's all I got right now off the top of my head. I'm trying. Would Lavelle Moten take that spot?
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to get out of the HBCU finally,
that's an interesting one too. Lavelle Moten and Mike Jones. Yeah. There we go. We gave you some quick fire answers on the Campbell Camels, and we'll see where they go in the future.
Did we expand on Bill Self at all?
Hubert Davis should take Campbell.
Hubert Davis to Campbell. So Bill Self's definitely back.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what else to say. I mean,
just open up if Mac wanted to say anything on the Golden Boy return to Big 12 basketball.
I thought he wanted one more crack at this thing. They got to figure out a different way to attack the portal though. They haven't been very efficient in the portal because it's like they have money. I mean, the
culture seems a little. I've always thought the culture since.
Do you think Tommy Lloyd was possibly angling for the Kansas job versus North Carolina?
I thought he made more sense at Kansas than he did at Carolina, but everybody seems to love the Carolina one. But I think Billy Donovan's going to end up at Carolina.
Ooh.
We shall see. I think right after this weekend, right? I would expect something by next Wednesday, Tuesday.
Yeah, maybe Sunday.
Yeah, maybe even Sunday. So be ready.
That other game, Dusty May might be there or Tommy Lloyd.
Be ready for that right there. What about Earl Grant, by the way, to Campbell?
Earl Grant would make. The problem is he was at the best job, though. Does he want to go to Campbell? It's it's
true.
Kind of the same with Keats. It's like, man, I was at Wilmington. I don't want to go to Campbell.
Yeah, fair.
I want to go back to Wilmington, where I get the most money.
All right, well, let's jump into the Final Four. But before we do that, I want to let you know that the college basketball experience is brought to you by us. We are part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Baseball is back. And so is the MLB Gambling Podcast and the College Baseball Experience. Daily Picks Podcast breaking down all of the MLB action and weekly college baseball and that'll turn into multi-weekly. Get in on the SGPN app or wherever you get your podcast. MLB Gambling Podcast, College Baseball Experience. Subscribe to both. We're also brought to you by SeatGeek. With over 35 million downloads, SeatGeek's the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and much, much more. And the NCAA tournament is obviously still rolling along. Molly Line Mac will be up in Indianapolis. You got the fucking Final Four in Indy, also the NIT. You got the Crown going on in Vegas. You got the Frozen Four in Vegas. College baseball every day, great games. MLB, I'm watching the Royals kick the shit out of the Twins right now, 12-1. But there's always NHL, NBA, World Cup. Everything's rolling along. Nothing like seeing live sports live or just live shows. I mean, look, I still think there's nothing better than catching a good band or artist live, stand-up comedy, and so on and so on. So one of the things I love about SeatGeek, and this is honestly no bullshit. I know they tell you to read a script, but I believe this. They don't get you. Some of their competitors are scumbaggish. I know this because I've been in the battles. But SeatGeek, one thing I enjoy about them is they have your back. Each ticket's rated on a 1 to 10 scale, so it means you're getting a good deal. Green means good, red means bad. But every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. I tell the story often here. Had to go it was like a 4 months. I think I had to wait something crazy like that. to get my money back from this Duke baseball game where they never sent me the ticket, where I paid for it. And, they never sent me it. And they were trying to take my money. And I was just sitting there saying, you bastards. So I love that SeatGeek, every ticket is guaranteed by their buyer back guarantee there. So, yeah, they're fantastic. So get on over there. Use the promo code SGPN10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with the promo code SGPN10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Also, we're brought to you by Kalshi. Kalshi is a real money prediction market, legal in a ton of different states, and Kalshi has a ton of trading options for your favorite sports. New Kalshi customers get $10 when you use the promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi. That's KALSHI. Promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog has you covered for pickup for almost every single sport. With college hoops, we've been killing it on this thing. I took the higher on Lendenberg points. And I took the higher on, who was the other one? Terrace Reed in the points for the Final Four. So jump on over there and check out. Underdog's just got constantly great stuff with the pickup stuff. They've even increased their payouts. 2 pick entries now 3.5 times. 3 pick entries 6.5 times. Underdog's also got a brand new offer for new customers. Play $5, get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code TCESGPN. So do that and let it ride. All right. Look at that shirt right there. Looking live. If you're going out to a college baseball game, whether you're seeing the Campbell Camels or the LSU Tigers or whoever, if you're going anywhere, right? Any sporting event, we get tweeted at a bunch of stuff, college hoops, whatever. I mean, even pro, it's shit. We've had people at like dog races in fucking Florida send us, you're looking live. We got the shirt in the store now. All right. So jump on over there. And we're only 30 away. I think it was 31 away from the George Mason Patriots Start Your Football Program t-shirt. We got 5 days to do this, folks. 5 days. Let's go. All right. 31 away. Let's make a difference. All right. And that looking live shirt, you can get in many different colors. So jump on over there.
I do, for the time being, only see the white gray mix. So
interesting. Maybe we're out of the black, but yeah. Okay. Fair enough. But I know there was black early on, but yeah, we'll work on that. Either way, still shirts available there. Jump on over there and let's go. Guys, Saturday. Final Four is here. And game 1 is the Illinois Fighting Illini taking on the UConn Huskies.
Where is this UConn logo coming from?
Deep in the vault. Deep in the vault.
UConn.
Series goes back to 1938. I'm actually seeing the Illini at -1.5. This slide was made yesterday, I believe, or the day before.
This one's steadily trickled up for the Illini. Now coming back, getting a little bit of the buyback.
I am quite fascinated by this game because you have Team Europe, who's old and can score. First off, they played this year. I should start off with UConn won by 13 back on November 28th at the Garden. And what was intriguing about that matchup was Terrace Reed only played like 14 minutes, but at the same time, let me just make sure I'm accurate here. Was it 14 minutes?
We talked about this in the Elite Eight recap. Like Milos Petrovic started and played more time than Keaton Wagler. Like a lot of Illinois' allotted minutes are not.
Wagler played 14 minutes.
Petrovic was at like 17 or 18.
Merkovic was 18. Yeah. And then in that same, Terrace Reed only played 15 minutes. So a very intriguing first matchup, but UConn won by 13 there at the Garden. Obviously the Garden, big UConn crowd. Indianapolis, I like. Okay,
there's gonna be so many Illini fans.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Both games. I've mentioned this. I've done a lot of shows talking about this. Like, I would just assume it was going to be all Illinois and Michigan fans, but I've gotten a lot of pushback on that. Mainly not with Arizona, so to speak. They think Arizona will represent decently, but UConn they think will pack this place.
Oh, No,
I would thought Arizona would have a stronger showing than UConn.
me too.
Really?
Arizona's
yeah.
fan base is psycho and more hungry. UConn's already won 2.
I think in order of presence in Indy, which will have boots on the ground with Mac's eyes to be able to tell us.
The line will
like-
definitely be 1.
Illini will be 1. I think Michigan's slightly 2 with UConn, or with Arizona. UConn are like 3-4, kind of close, but I think goes Illinois, Michigan.
Illinois, Michigan, we know are, you know what? I didn't realize that how big of a school Arizona is. 55,000 students.
And they haven't won
That's
since
more-
the 90s.
There will be plenty of Wildcats fans, no doubt.
Interesting. But when I mentioned this, especially I did a couple radio spots, and then I've gotten pushback saying they think UConn will show up there. I'm very fascinated by that because I just thought Illinois, Michigan, and then I thought Illinois would root against Michigan, provided
That
that
could
they
be true.
Yeah. So that one might be more intriguing as far as that, just because of the timing, the way it aligns. But I really struggle with this one because I do think Illinois is the better team on paper. But I can't get. I still Underwood. He's impressed me. Really impressed me this run, and I know they're super old. But I just think, given the best coach in the game, arguably Danny Hurley, this much time, and I think they're coming into fruition with Reed and company. I'm on UConn, guys. I don't feel amazing about it, but I will take UConn. And so many times I feel like you see the shot, whether it was Leitner that led them to a natty, whether it was the Mike Miller shit at Florida. Like, I just feel like sometimes you see these miracle shots propel teams to either the national championship, Jalen Suggs or whatever. That one was to get to the national championship, but it's a little different. But there's been a lot of other ones. Tyus Edney, UCLA. I'm not getting in front of the train that is UConn, the magical train, even though I was kind of a hater all year. But give me UConn to get this thing done. Mac, what are you doing here?
Well, so not only a rematch of the game earlier this year, you remember the Elite Eight game?
Yeah.
Oh,
2
yeah.
years ago, the
Yeah.
30-0 run game.
Yeah.
That game was in Boston. So that was basically a UConn home game. Then they got him at the Garden. Illinois finally is going to fucking have a little bit of the home crowd, or at least a neutral feeling, rather than playing basically at UConn. I've gone back and forth on this one. I'm going to take the Illini. I think the Illini are better. Obviously, I think that they also have they do have the rest advantage as well, an extra day, and just with the emotion of that UConn comeback win against Duke, that almost felt like their national championship.
But couldn't you say that? Like my point of like, couldn't you say that about Duke's Leitner team? Could you say that about Tyus Edney's UCLA team? You could go one by one and like historically say that. That's why, look, traditionally, I think you see the buzzer beater and you say, I want to fade that. But I think if you actually dive into it, more times than not, the team that wins the national championship or makes the national championship has like a bunch of close calls along the way.
Well, but I get the sense with UConn that even Hurley, they know they're not that good this year. They got blown the fuck out in the Big East tournament this year in the championship. They have lost more games than they did in those 2 championship games, and they rolled through those games. I felt like the Duke game was them overachieving this year and getting back to a Final Four, a proud program, pedigree, culture win over the soft ass Dukies, and it was a win for America. We all celebrated, we all trolled it. I just don't think UConn's that good this year. I think that they got here because of their culture and how good Hurley is. Also, Luke Murray was interviewing at Boston College this week, so like it's just another wrench in the dynamic of the UConn thing this week. They got back late and they had to hop back on a plane to go back to Indy. I think Illinois' size, athleticism, I think they just have enough, and they're so due to beat UConn. Like they got their ass beat in the Elite Eight, and then they lost to them on that fucked up NBA midseason court where they decided to put the Garden as a blue court. I don't know why the fuck they did that, but I just think Illinois is more talent, and they finally get over the hump and they beat UConn and they play Monday night with all the Euros.
There we go. Bieniek, what are you doing here? That's another thing that I liked about the UConn handicap is they have multiple players that have played in a spotlight this big. Bieniek, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I didn't have it on my bingo card that I was going to disagree with Mac on this game, but I'm on UConn. I do think that Illinois is going to have the crowd, but at the same time, we saw Houston have the crowd against Illinois.
True.
And just the game script was totally dictated in a way that the crowd didn't play a factor in that game. I think that Illinois has played very good in this NCAA tournament. They've also played the same style of team for 3 straight games. VCU, Houston, Iowa, all slower play styles, physicality, not as much shot making. And I mean, UConn, if they get hot, they've had a couple of their shooters play cold during this NCAA tournament. So that's what gives me the cold feet on really liking UConn in this matchup. But when I think of, okay, shooting hasn't quite been there the entire tournament for UConn, I think the coaching edge is going to be there. You saw these two match up in the Elite Eight. Mac brought it up. Hurley and their squad went on a 30-0 run against pretty much the same coaching staff at Illinois. There's one assistant that I don't believe is currently there anymore. But, I mean, this UConn staff is going for 3-4. They just had the magical moment. I typically like to ride that momentum in the NCAA tournament. And, guys, I'm going for the underdog pick, Alex Karaban, higher than 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He's had a fantastic NCAA tournament so far. His last game was clearly his worst against Duke, where he only had 5-3-3. We're going higher than 20.5 PRA. In the tournament, he's averaging 23 points, rebounds, and assists. Game 1 against Furman, he had 22. Game 2 against UCLA, he had 27 points. Game 3 against Michigan State, he had 17 points. And he's just been collecting boards and has had 3 assists in 3 of those games. I think that the guards are going to step up, and Terrace Reed's going to be that physical presence down low that just ultimately turns Illinois' defense into turnstiles.
Sorry, Colorado just dribbled the ball out of bounds. I'm with you on that, and I'm on the Caravan. I got now. This number has changed, but higher than 11.5 points when it first opened. But one thing also, I see the chat talking about UConn being lucky, and that's fair.
Yeah,
because of the Duke game. But I'm going to also say Illinois got lucky. They had an amazing draw. If you look at this, like Penn without two of their guys, or one of the guys was injured, right?
Penn was a 14 seed. VCU was an 11 seed.
Yeah,
Iowa, they played in the Elite Eight, was a 9 seed. Like
Iowa's not like, I love Iowa, but they're not that talented this year. VCU and Illinois, that's a perfect matchup for Illinois. The only super impressive win to me was the Houston game. The rest are kind of like, it's kind of a cakewalk in a way. Like, don't get me wrong, McCullum's a great coach, but I just think Illinois is so much better athletically than Iowa that it's a good matchup for them.
Super similar to the 2024 Alabama run, where they faced 2 double-digit seeds in the first weekend and then faced an underseeded team in the Elite Eight to get to the Final Four. Like, that's what I think of.
Fair. Yeah. You guys, what do you think about that total at 139.5?
I mean, I almost always go under in football stadiums.
Yeah. I think in years past, though, they've kind of set that number lower just because that is the narrative, that shots are harder to make in these field of depth, or the depth of, what am I looking for? The depth perception inside the football.
I mean, the total in the first game was 151.5, so it is jacked down.
1,000%. I would say under, but I do think that, KenPom's got the game at 144. You're seeing this at 139.5, 140. Like, that's baked into the number. So I don't know if I necessarily love it, but I would say under as well.
I think I would agree. I don't feel amazing about it. Probably will not bet that, but yeah, let's go. Currently the Crown, by the way, some high drama with the Buffs have basically tried to piss this away. That Oklahoma up 2 with 50.5 seconds left.
I am interested.
Sharp.
I am interested in some, scoring in the second game. I think that's where you could see some scoring though.
I was good. You know what? I think I like the over in the first game. Because I think they jack this thing down. I think UConn will make a couple shots, but I think Illinois is going to make some shots too. And only counterpoint I will have on the matchup 2 years ago, UConn had by far the better team when they played in that game. Like they now it's flipped. Illinois has the better roster. I think we can all agree on that.
Yes. Yes.
It's just, and UConn's also coming off the Duke Miracle win, a physical ass game against Michigan State, and a physical ass game against UCLA. So like they had played St. John's in the fucking Big East tournament when they got their ass kicked. So like they've been playing some fucking wars here recently. I feel like Illinois,
I kind of like that angle though.
Yeah, I think that they can bring that to Illinois, and Illinois is not necessarily like.
I think they run out of gas. I think they finally run out of gas, and they finally come up short, like they did against Florida last year. I think finally the Jimmys and Joes get them.
We keep talking in circles, and I feel like that'll happen in the second game too, because we are kind of blessed with 2 coin flip games in the Final Four. That it's just going to be fun to see what happens.
Let's jump to the next game. But before I do that, I want to let you know that the college basketball experience is brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is your official data tool for dominating the madness that is college hoops. Rhythm continues to crush it in college basketball, but also Rhythm's projections in MLB are now live, and they continue their NBA props heater. Looking to go premium? Use the promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm. That's RITHMM. Promo code SGPN25. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. With Novig, you are getting the best prices. Download the Novig app. Get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. So get in on the action with Novig. Promo code SGPN. All right, we're back. And look, so Colorado made a 3 to potentially take the lead, but Ted Boyle called timeout. So now they got to do it again. Under 15 seconds left. Yeah.
So you're telling me the football coach didn't think they'd get the snap off the kicker, drilled the field goal, and now they got to run back out.
This is the shot they get.
That
Barrington Hargress. Makes a game tying shot. Oklahoma calls timeout. Tied up with 1.6 seconds left. We're breaking down the Crown. You're looking live at us talking the Crown. Another Crown game follows this, and then obviously 2 tomorrow with the NIT. Who did I pick? Come on, man. I took UConn. Take UConn on the money line here. Let's get to the next game where
I'll take the 1.5.
I won't. I'll battle you there. I don't think so. Michigan, Arizona, the game I think we've kind of been hyping up really since like December at least.
Yeah.
I think after the first month we were like, whoa,
November.
These teams look. I want to say November, but I don't know fully. I think like December 1st we were kind of convinced at that point that I was like, or I think that we were like, man, both these teams are on fucking fire. Well, we finally get that matchup. I know some complaining on Twitter that it's not the Natty
championship.
But
well, then they should have had Arizona as a 1 seed overall. Like instead they gave it to Duke. I don't know why they gave it.
Or you blame Michigan for losing the neutral court game in DC against Duke that gave them the #1 seed. But yeah.
Bieniek, I know I'm not doing this to come at you. It's just I feel I like this game better than the other game. The other game I feel like I don't have a grasp on. This game,
I think I agree.
I think Arizona's guards are going to eat, and I think Arizona's guards are going to be the difference. The only thing that scares me is I do believe Dusty May has a slight coaching edge in this fucking looming North Carolina cloud that's just going back all around. Has me a little bit for both coaches really but I think
One coach more
Arizona
than the other.
in
One
my
coach
opinion, I
hasn't shot it down. One coach is thriving.
Yeah, that's fair. Very fair. And that terrifies me a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think Arizona is going to get Michigan tomorrow, buddy. Or not tomorrow, but Saturday. I just think the guards are the clear advantage to me. Now, granted, Arizona does not shoot three well, and that seems to be
Well, they don't shoot the three. I wouldn't say they don't shoot it well.
They don't
Yeah. Yeah,
they just
there you
don't
go.
attempt it.
They're top 40 in 3-point field goal percentage, but
Yeah.
they're 338th in threes per game. They're gonna have to shoot some threes, I think. But I just think the guard play and the rebounding, which I'm fascinated by watching the bigs of both these teams, because maybe Michigan can make Arizona's bigs feel uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, that's what I'm going with. I'm bear down in it over here. I'm bear down in it over here with these bear down glasses. I think they get the dub. And I actually played this one kind of crazy. I played this one Arizona minus 6.5. I think I got plus 280 if memory serves me correct. I'm counting on free throws at the end. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I just think, like, where's that number? If they're up by 3 or 4 and they get a board, can you get some fouls, some free throws to get this thing up to 7, 8, something like that? Anyway, I'm bear down in it, but I can't wait to watch this thing. McIntyre, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I think everybody knows what side I'm going on. I've kind of bared down for the last 9 games. I don't see they really haven't given me a reason not to. Michigan's great. Michigan's awesome. Honestly, there's a lot of similarities between these two. Both have great size or positional size, and both teams kind of just choke your ass out. But I think both teams are going to play well, but I just think Arizona has a different gear than Michigan. I think they do have the better guards. I did see Cadeau was not feeling well today, and
that's one way to describe it.
Yeah, and that gives me
bubble guts.
You didn't see this?
No, yeah, I think I missed this.
Oh, this is huge news. He at lunch today, whatever they had for team lunch gave him an allergic reaction.
Yeah,
and he got stretchered out of the building into an ambulance. They had like a tarp over his head to make sure that no like media could.
They had a tarp over. What is he, dead?
Exactly. That's why it was like somebody still videoed it, and it went kind of crazy. I'm surprised you didn't see that today.
And I'm sure he'll be fine. Like,
yeah, he's fine.
Friday and Saturday, but it gives me flashbacks to when we played in the Final Four. Darius Thornwell came down with the flu right on this exact day, and he was dog shit in the first half trying to get his legs back, and we ultimately end up losing to Gonzaga. He came on in the second half, but I thought Arizona already had the better guards, and their younger guards have come along throughout the year. I trust Jaden Bradley more than I trust Elliot Cadeau is what it comes down to. Yeah, is Dusty May the better coach? Yes, and he's already been in a Final Four, but I just think Arizona will be able to neutralize Michigan's front court. They'll have enough bodies to throw at Lenderberg and company. It's gonna be a fun game. I'm not calling for a blowout, but I think we saw Arizona take the best punch from Purdue already, and they still almost won by 20. That shit was crazy. They spotted them 10 points in the first half, and they still almost won by 20 against a proud program in Purdue that's gritty and just beat Michigan in the Big Ten title. So I just think Arizona's best is better than Michigan's best. I bear down to the national championship on Monday night with Tommy Lloyd.
Yeah, that's the thing that nerves me the most is like Michigan, Arizona, statistically like two of the best neutral court teams in all of the country this year. And of course they're playing in the Final Four. But Michigan's one neutral court loss was to Purdue. Purdue was undefeated neutral court up until Arizona. They had the double-digit lead against these Wildcats, and it just kind of fell apart. What I think that Michigan has that Purdue doesn't have, though, is like the defensive front court to pair with the offensive front court. Like 7'4" Adai Ma, like that's something that you can't simulate in the front court for Arizona to have to kind of go through and score through. Ma's definitely probably going to get into foul trouble in this game. I don't think he's going to be a game breaker by any means, but I do think that the trio of Yaxel Lendeborg, Morez Johnson, and Mara are a very good front court that can match Arizona. And what I think you're getting out of Michigan's backcourt, albeit they may not have the Jimmies and Joes on that side compared to what Arizona has with Jaden Bradley, Braden Burries. You're getting Elliot Cadeau, who against Jaden Bradley, if you put him in that matchup of like who do you trust more creating their own shot at the end of the game, Bradley's got him beat, no doubt. But Cadeau's not like to create your own shot at the end of the game. We're going to you to make a bucket. It's Yaxel Lendeborg. So I don't throw that narrative out there at Cadeau. What Cadeau's Achilles heel is if he's going too fast, which I want Michigan to play at tempo in this game against Arizona. I want there to be as many possessions as there possibly can be in order for Michigan to be able to rattle off a couple of threes and hopefully get on a little bit of a roll. That's when I think they could be able to stretch a lead, gain a lead, make Arizona play from behind, which they did have to do against Purdue, but I trust our defensive front court to be able to hold that lead a little bit better. And Arizona hasn't had to play from behind for a lot of the year. But Cadeau, when he's going too fast, his internal motor is just going. He's a turnover like liability a little bit. That's the knock on Cadeau. Trey McKinney's emerged. He's gotten better as a shooter and better as a defender because LJ Kaysen was the go-to backup point guard behind Cadeau because of the defensive ability, and he was shooting 40% from three. McKinney's the better shooter, and he's gotten more engaged on the defensive end of the floor. For me, everybody knew I was going to go Michigan, but that's kind of how I read this game. I think it's going to be pretty tough. Actually, thinking about it, don't mind Colby's like, tack on a few free throws. They're going to either team who's down 2 or 3 with 30 seconds to go may foul and stretch this game out more. That
Dude, I
makes
thought
sense
about
to
doing
me.
it with UConn too. I might do it with UConn too. Like, or whatever sides you're on, like the game, a lot of times they don't fall exactly on like 1 or 2. So like,
Yeah.
if you're on your side, you might as well cook the books a little bit, hope some free throws bring you home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my thought process is just I want Michigan to play with tempo, get as many possessions as possible, knock down 8+ threes, and see if Arizona can, like, if you have a lead, see if Arizona can keep up. Like that, I think is the game plan to beat the Wildcats because it just hasn't reasonably been done if Arizona has played to their ability. So that's the handicap. That's why I'm on Michigan. I think that the tempo will lead to more points scored for both teams. I kind of like a couple of overs. I know we were talking about the football stadiums, but I think, again, you're looking at numbers that are kind of baked in, factoring the depth perception. That's been a pretty negative thing throughout narratives for quite a few years. And then the underdog fantasy pick for me is Morez Johnson. I'm going to go higher than 11.5 points. He's actually not played tremendously in the NCAA tournament, but he's cashed this in 3 of the 4 games so far for Michigan. And 11.5 has been a pretty low number for him throughout the year. I know that's lower in this game because of the matchup, but I still will take the positive trend in that one.
There we go. Shout out to Troy Tuning. 32 miles walked. What's going on? Did you run out of gas like your best buddy?
He told us during the Elite 8 recap he's aerating greens on his golf course. So he must be walking a lot on the golf course, and basically what they're doing is like puncturing holes into the green to allow the grass to grow, I think, better, properly. I don't know how to explain that.
I got 20 in the last 2 days on the beach.
Oh, okay. I did not. But Colorado's up.
I've got
1
2 in the
on
last
Oklahoma.
2 in the last 2 days, 1 mile a day.
This Crown game. This Crown
2 in
game
the last 2 days.
has delivered a little bit. It's a 1-point lead by the Buffs. Actually, Oklahoma just tied it up with the free throw with the 1:16 left in overtime.
Come on, Buff.
Yeah, we're looking pretty good with our 9.5 and the Buffs, but yeah. And shout out to Tailgate Report, the fucking man, the myth, the legend. Let's go, brother. Giving us $20. Going to start with an NIT pregame trip to the legendary St. Elmo's. Get the shrimp cocktail, McIntyre. All right, get the shrimp cocktail. That's what they say. Huffer and I will be awaiting Mac's arrival, so do not run out of gas. Yeah, if I'm you, Tailgate Report, and if I'm Huffer, phones on silent. Phones on silent. Block Mac's number until he's due to get into Indianapolis, because you don't want to have to go out to like fucking Muncie to pick him up or something. You know what I mean? Or wherever the fuck.
I do got to go 12 hours tomorrow. 12-hour drive.
That is terrifying for any friend of Moneyline. I'm telling you this. I'm not picking up his phone calls. All right. I'm not picking up shit. Yeah, but shout out to Tailgate Report. He's the fucking man. If you haven't checked out his stuff, he's you got it. Yeah, you'll see it tomorrow. You'll see it.
I'm gonna give
NIT.
my Brett Bielema.
It sucks too, because I should be there. If it wasn't for Easter, I was talking about this with the SGP guys. If it was not for Easter, with my mom planning something big for White Tiger, I would be in Indianapolis with you, dude. Yeah. Next year. Hey, can we, since who knew Easter was on flex scheduling? So if we're gonna do this, can we throw Easter say not on the Final Four weekend?
Well, it's so dumb. By the way, have
Colby,
you seen where the Final Four is next year?
Yeah, the Final Four is in my backyard next year, buddy.
Sight.
Oh
God.
Well, we could stay, dude. Have you been to
This
Detroit? You can
guy.
stay at a hotel for like $15.
It's a unanimous knowing in the coaching industry. Everybody goes, "Oh my God, is the Final Four's in Detroit?" We want to pick between San
Final
Antonio.
Four hasn't been there in a decade plus.
Everybody says it's the worst city for a Final Four.
Knocking it for what it was, not what it is.
Dude, would you rather go to San Antonio or Detroit?
I
like them
I'll go on the
catering to
Riverwalk
all.
rather than go hang out by the Lions. Fucking.
I
bullshit.
like them catering to all areas of the United States.
They don't cater to all areas of the United States. That's the problem.
Okay, baby.
Right?
Would you rather go to Detroit or go to Vegas, which is where it is the next year? I think I'll go to Vegas.
Oh man, we're gonna be at that.
I will see you in Detroit in 2027.
God, I can't believe that they still have Detroit in the rotation. Get that out.
No, it's not in the It's not
Flex
still in the rotation. It's the first time in like 15 years we've had it.
It should never go back to Detroit.
Oh God. You speak like you said everybody in the coaching industry, like have you been for the Final Four in Detroit?
Everybody has said,
yeah.
That I've talked to goes,
don't knock it till you try it. Okay.
Well,
everybody goes, oh, it's in Detroit. Yeah, no thanks. I don't want to go hang out in 30 degrees in fucking Detroit for Final Four weekend. No thanks.
Well,
okay, Indy's 45.
Indy's actually going to be 60 this weekend. It's
Detroit's going to be 60 this weekend too.
Look, I've heard from a few
get
coaches.
The same weather.
Everybody hates Detroit, Bieniek. I know you live in your Detroit bubble. It is not even in the top 25 cities of Final
you know
Four.
why they hate it? I've heard the coaches say the pizza's shit.
Yeah.
That's what they've said is the pizza is shit. I've heard this. Even Izzo says, God damn it. He thought about taking the Hawks job a while back just to get out and try to get some pizza somewhere else.
Look at this, buddy. It's 70 degrees all weekend. There's a little bit of rain, but that's 70.
Would you rather go to New Orleans, San Antonio, Vegas, or let's go to Detroit? No thanks.
You realize you just named 3 southern cities. I like them spreading it around the United States.
I do too, but I hate this. I wish
Atlanta.
they were. Well,
that's a southern city.
They pick the same locations too frequently.
I know.
I remember Jimmy Valvano running around at the fucking pit. Right? Albuquerque was cool. Like, come on, think a little bit outside. Remember what they had UNLV Duke was in Denver. Move it around some more.
South again.
Dude, yes, because basketball's in a winter it's a winter fucking sport, no shit. You get to the end of the road, it's nice to fucking hey, we can go outside and fucking enjoy the festivities of the weekend. No, we got to go to Detroit where we're going to freeze our fucking balls off like we have for the last 5 months.
No, like it's worse in college football. All of your destination bowl games are in the South, and it all favors those fan bases. Like, I like them randomly spreading it around throughout the entire country, because then if you get in Illinois that magically runs to a Final Four and they're in it, now their fan base
They
has
do a
chance.
shitty job of spreading it out, though, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's like they choose like Indianapolis, Houston, San Antonio, New Orleans, like way too frequently. Like, it should bounce around more.
But to Mac's point, the coaches want it more frequently.
They want
That's
it
the
in the
issue.
South because it's nice weather. It's a party weekend. Nobody wants to party in Detroit for a weekend.
Everybody's partying inside.
Now, what are you talking about? You haven't been to San Antonio, man, or New Orleans. There ain't no inside.
I'm talking about in Detroit. You aren't partying outside.
There's other things going on outside in Detroit. No, thank you. I'm good.
So Oklahoma, 3.9 seconds left.
He's still locked in on the crown over there.
3-point lead. Colorado's got. They're gonna have 3.9 seconds to draw up something, and you can draw up something by subscribing to us right now. All right, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Thanks for rocking with us. We will be back, of course. Guess what? We have a show tomorrow night. All right. Maybe I'll run it on both feeds soon because Mac will be shit faced. But we got the crown picks coming. Maybe I'll just run the SGPN on both. We'll see. But if not, we're definitely back Saturday night with. I
was gonna say, am I on tomorrow night? I don't have a show. You have a show tomorrow night, right?
Well, we should just talk about the crown. But I could do that. I could put the SGP audio on this feed. So,
yeah.
But Saturday we'll be back with our Natty preview. All right. So let's go. Check out the college baseball experience, which is coming up next. Bieniek is on Twitter, by the way, at NoahB77_. Subscribe to the college baseball experience. Mollyline McIntosh is on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. Check out the college football experience and the FCS college football experience. I'm on Twitter at thecolbyd. Shout out to all the people in the chat. Shout out to Tailgate Report. And let's go. Buffs, 3.9 seconds. We're going to end it on this. All right. He got fouled, I think. So no, let's just end it. Folks, this is the college basketball experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
It's back tonight. Hear what I say. Moneyline back in a major way. Those tacos from Billy Ray and the mimosas the way. Ask your girl how my money go. Go West Virginia, that's what they scream. First to give your girl a crazy dream. Hey kids, remember to gas up. I'm the king who gives your girl an ass rub. It's Moneyline Mac and that's what it's about now. I wear my coonskin hat when I take your girl to Plowtown. It's Moneyline Mac and that's what it's about now. I wear my coonskin hat when I take your girl to Plowtown. Yeah. It's Moneyline Mac, feel the heat. Moneyline Mac, can't be beat. Billy Ray's tacos and mimosas set me free.